Morning, Ralph. Morning, Sam.
The golden age of cartoons. Those words alone stir up a lot of fond memories for plenty of people who grew up during the 80s and 90s. I'm talking cartoons like Mickey Mouse, Betty Boop, Popeye, Tom and Jerry. Though one of the more popular examples would be the Looney Tunes. So many memorable shorts, a list that's honestly way too long for its own good, all starring characters that are common household names today. Bugs Bunny, Daffy Duck, Elmer Fudd, Yosemite Sam, Tweety Sylvester, Marvin the Martian. Though for me, the best of the cast are the ones that have the least amount of shorts out of everybody. And that would be Sam Sheepdog and Ralph the Wolf. The latter everyone seems to easily confuse for Wile E. Coyote and... come on. The two aren't that similar if you look at them side by side. They even made a joke about the confusion in an episode of Tasmania.
Oh, you're a temp from Predators R Us. You know, I thought I was a little too hard on that coyote last Friday.
The formula for these two is that Sam and Ralph are co-workers, working a 9-to-5 job, with Sam protecting a flock of sheep, and Ralph tries to steal said sheep. Ralph almost catches one, and every time Sam catches him, at the end of the day, they wish each other a good night and head home. It might look like they hate each other, but it's just a day on the job for them. They even show they care about each other while off the clock.
You've been working too hard, Ralph. Why don't you take tomorrow off? I can handle both jobs. It's too close to quitting time, Ralph. Let's pick it up there in the morning. Okay, Sam. Good night. I punched you in, Sam. Well, gee, thanks a lot, Ralph.
Heck, at one point they're shown living together.
Well, time's a-wasting, Sam. Yep, another day, another dollar.
Which, now that I'm an adult, this ending makes me think they might be more than just co-workers.
Nice day, huh, Sam? Yep, good to be alive, Ralph.
In fact, that's another difference between Ralph and Wile E. Where Wile E is constantly frustrated with his defeats, Ralph takes his losses in stride. He's a good sport about it.
Well, better luck next time, Ralph. Oh, sure, you can't win them all, you know. Thanks.
You can win them all indeed. Sam and Ralph are probably the least well known amongst their more popular Looney's co-stars, as they only have 7 shorts to their names, and it wouldn't be until their 3rd short before their official names were decided on. Listen to this. In the first short, Ralph didn't even have a name, and Sam was referred to as Ralph.
Hello, Fred. Hello, Ralph. Hello, Ralph. Hello, Fred. Hello, George. Hello, Sam. Morning, Ralph. Morning, Sam. Morning, Sam. Oh, good morning, Ralph.
While these two didn't have much luck in the classic shorts era, they had more luck in the video game department, as more people remember them for their game that put them exclusively in the spotlight, Sheepdog and Wolf, or more commonly known here in the US, Looney Tunes Sheep Raider. Developed by Infogrames Lionhouse, who worked on a few Game Boy Color games, and published by Infogrames on September 14th, 2001 in Europe for the PC and PlayStation 1, then on the 27th in North America exclusively for the PS1. Will this game be able to deliver a sheep-stealing good time, or should we just clock out early? Time to find out. The story starts by showing Sam and Ralph on the job, even showing us Ralph has watched The Matrix as he seems to know how to do bullet time. Of course, Ralph gets caught, but before Sam can beat him senseless, the time clock goes off and the two head home for the evening. Ralph sits down to watch some TV and unwind until a strange limo pulls up outside his home. Who is it? Why, it's Daffy Duck. But wait, what's he want with Ralph?
Hello, and welcome to the Sheepdog and Wolf Show, or as I like to call it, Who Wants to Be a Sheep Stealer? Listen, bub, all you gotta do is relax and play the game. I gotta use this gig to catapult me to superstardom. Now, the aim of our game is simple: to steal sheep. You will go through a series of levels. At each of those levels, you will have to steal a sheep from Sam Sheepdog and put it in the goal. If you succeed, You may proceed to the next challenge, and so on, until you finally steal the entire flock. But, and this is a big but, the sheep must be intact at the end of each level. You'll be disqualified if any of these sheep are missing so much as a thread of wool. Have I made myself perfectly clear?
Yes. You start in the tutorial level and are greeted by 3 signs. Attention, extended use of this game can drive even the most serious people crazy. Are you sure you want to play this game? No, I'm not sure.
I'm sold.
We warned you. To start, cross the white line. Alright. Oh, wait. Game over? But this is a tutorial level. You can't just kill me in the tutorial level. Oh, wait. There's Daffy showing us that we can't really get a game over in this game. Speaking of Daffy, he takes on the role of Ralph's mentor on how to steal sheep. He'll show you the basics, like how to use the camera, how to jump, how to run, how to solve puzzles around the map, and how to use items in your inventory. But it's more than just basic tutorial stuff. Throughout the game, he'll even show you how to sneak in Sam's area for your first sheep, explaining how Sam's detection works.
When the icon is green, it means that you are close to Sam's area, but the good news is, he can't see or hear you. When the icon is orange, it means that you're in Sam's area, so be quiet, and everything will be okay. When the icon is red, it means you're in big trouble, pal, 'cause Sam saw you, and you'd better get out.
He'll show you how to camouflage in Sam's area without him realizing it, using rocks and bushes.
This way you can cross Sam's area, and if he sees you, he won't see you at all. He'll see a bush. It's pure genius. Tell you what, listen, I'll watch over the rocks while you hide yourself behind this one. After you cross the white line, I'll watch carefully to see if you can reach this square without me noticing you. It's up to you now.
This is oddly the most helpful Daffy has ever been. A character known for being obnoxious, selfish, greedy, he's suddenly going out of his way to help this one wolf steal sheep from his co-worker and not once ask for anything in return but for you to keep trying. He even gives you encouragement every time you complete a stage and whenever you talk to him in the level select area.
Fantastic! Ooh, shh. Our contestant needs quiet. Quiet! Please, let's give our contestant a little support, huh? Come on, don't be a quitter. You're unstoppable.
But he has his limits. If you blow him up with TNT, he punishes you by disabling your controls for a full minute. Just fair. He's trying to help you and you blow him up. Kinda rude, Ralph.
Well, let's see if you think this is funny. I will stop you from playing for about 1 minute while you consider the error of your ways.
1 minute later.
That little timeout should teach you to blow me up, but never say I hold a grudge. Back to the game!
Daffy isn't the only Looney Tunes star you'll run into, though. You'll be running into the likes of Porky Pig, Elmer Fudd, Yosemite Sam, the Raging Bull, and even Gossamer.
People!
Even the audience members in the level selection map is made of several other famous Looney Tunes characters. While on the subject, this wouldn't be a game set in the Looney Tunes world if it at least didn't feel, sound, and look like a Looney Tunes cartoon. And while the character models are kinda dopey, the character designs really aren't that great. Ralph's design doesn't really help with the Ralph vs. Wile E confusion. The level design on the other hand definitely shines through the most, having that classic Chuck Jones art style the show was known for, and it makes you feel like you're putting through an episode of the cartoon. The levels themselves are grouped together in themed sets. You have the spring and summer forests, the autumn areas, the winter tundra, the swamplands, time travel, a haunted castle, a pirate village, and finally the desert. Each level has a specific gimmick and a set of tools you'll need to use in order to steal the sheep. The inventory allowing you to read up on the items you'll be using, while using the map of the level itself to find your way around. One item you'll see most of throughout the game is the lettuce.
Is this Sam's sheep? You love it.
Forky will teach you how to use the lettuce in the first level, which you can use to lure sheep to do something to help you advance through the levels, or lead them through certain areas that are too dangerous for you two to be together, like the bridge that can only support one person at a time. Sam's sheep also love pushing buttons. Really love pushing buttons. Put them near one and they'll want to push it. These aren't the only tools you'll use though. There's also rockets that let you fly, bands that can lure sheep over with sheep perfume and move rafts around, rubber bands that can launch you and your sheep over large gaps, a magic flute to hypnotize others, mostly Sam, hot air dryer to unfreeze frozen characters, an umbrella to help you glide over geysers, a metal detector to help you cross minefields, costumes that give you access to Sam's area without getting caught, a little robot companion, and a fishing pole that you can attach a magnet and lattice to. And with the inventory map, you'll learn how to use everything to your advantage and take the sheep one by one. But Sam won't give up his herd that easily. Once the first sheep gets taken, he'll instantly get aggressive. He might start looking around really fast. From now on, every sheep will be within his line of sight, so you'll have to sneak around, use bushes and rocks, lure him away from the herd, or lure a sheep away from him. Heck, he even sets up landmines at one point. Thankfully, Daffy can teach you how to deactivate them, but the ones by Sam's area that guard the sheep, yeah, don't touch them. There's even continuity between the levels. In the time travel level, for example, it'll be the first time you run into Gossamer, and you have to take him from the past to the present in order to distract the raging bull so you can get the sheep in the goal. And then Gossamer comes back in a different level as the game's only boss fight. You have to beat him in order to get to that level's goal. Another positive about this game, the soundtrack. This soundtrack is definitely one of the best you can find in the PlayStation 1 library. Hey Daffy, what do you think of this review so far?
Wonderful. Don't forget to find all the time clocks.
Oh shit, I almost forgot about these things, didn't I? In each level you'll find Sam and Ralph's time clock hidden in out-of-the-way areas. Using the time clock, you'll receive bonus points, and after getting enough points, you can unlock certain bonuses, from character sketches, storyboards, background art, and more importantly, hints on how to find the 2 hidden levels. In these levels, Sam will take one sheep from the flock and hide it away, watching over it like a hawk. And instead of stealing the rest of the flock while he isn't looking, Ralph sees this as a challenge and goes after that one sheep. Which he rightfully should, as these sheep are part of the counter. There's not much else to the time clocks, and once you know where the bonus levels are, you won't really need to use them afterwards. Back to the story, things really come ahead in the pirate level. After swapping one of the last 2 remaining sheep in Sam's flock with an inflatable toy, you have to avoid cannon fire from a pirate ship. I played the Pirates of the Caribbean music here to show my support for Johnny Depp, but copyright is my best friend. And who's been firing at you? Why, none other than the roughest, toughest gunslinger of the seas, Yosemite Sam. The goal is on this ship, but he won't let a varmint like Ralph on board, so we lure him to a jail cell of gold coins. Once on the ship, we see the goal is on the ship's sail. How do we get the sheep there? Easy. Fire it out of the super cannon. Yeah, the sheep's now drifting aimlessly in space, and Ralph is now standing alone in the goal.
Dealing with this kind of stuff definitely wasn't in my contract. Can an uninformed duck get some help around here? So what do we do now? Is it okay this way or not? Technically, the sheep has been put inside the goal, and it is inside the goal, so it should be taken into account, shouldn't it? And one more victory for our contestant!
You'd think this would cost him the game, but turns out he found a loophole. Now, I'd say each level has been pretty simple in terms of catching sheep. It's all been pretty easy, but then we get to level 14, or 16 if you did the hidden levels. God, this stage. In this stage, there's a sheep costume, a train, 2 catapults, a rock, and the Roadrunner. This is a relatively small map too, but if you don't know what to do, it can be a bit confusing. So what's the intended way to do it? Well, first you stop the train, get on the train, wait, get off when you see the letterbox, hit the letterbox, press the button to stop the train and wait some more. When the train arrives, get on the train and retrieve the sheep costume on the platform across the letterbox. Then push the rock onto the train, move the train and get off once you're in Sam's area. Stop the train again and put on the sheep costume. Approach Sam's area, and if you don't see him moving towards you when he sees you, don't bleed, otherwise he'll kick you. Once he moves towards you, make sure to bleed once you're in close range of the sheep and move away from Sam's area. Sam, a little tilted because he knows it's you, moves across the train tracks and starts circling inside the goal. This is what we professional gamers call camping. Move the sheep onto the seesaw and push the boulder off the train onto the seesaw, which launches the sheep onto the train. Then hurry up to the road and start the race with the Roadrunner. You should have 3 seconds before the train shows up to get in the Roadrunner's way, because you have to stay ahead of the bird. If you don't, he'll close the gate and you'll have to do everything again. Once you pass the gate, don't stop and press the button to stop the train one last time. Take the sheep off the train and approach the catapult. Aim and fire the rock sheep first so you'll crush Sam, then fire the normal sheep, then fire it yourself. If you're fast enough, you can beat the level before Sam gets up to pummel you.
Doesn't it make sense? Do you get it? Cause I don't.
But after that, it's done. Ralph finally did it. He has stolen the entire flock. Daffy comes out, does his thing, and congratulates you on a job well done as he starts to wrap the show up.
Fantastic! The last sheep! You did it! You are an exceptional contestant. Unfortunately, our show is nearly over. Thanks to all my fans out there for staying with us through to the end. See you soon!
2 seconds later.
What's this? What's Marvin the Martian doing here? This wasn't in the script!
Hey, is that sheep we shot at the canyon? But why does Marvin have it?
That insignificant little earthling? It looks like that ridiculous creature reached my planet because of a blunder you made. Is that right? Well, let me tell you how your friend got here. No time!
Basically, the sheep we fired into space had traveled all the way to Planet X at max speed, hitting a water tower and knocking over the dispenser that holds Marvin's army. And because Marvin couldn't stop it, these creatures are on the loose. And while he was able to capture the majority of them, 10 of them have gotten themselves stuck in areas they can't get out of without help. And since this was technically Ralph's fault, he wants the wolf to round them up.
It was utter chaos.
In this last stage, you are given a portable vacuum and a remote control. You place the vacuum over little slots in order to capture the Martians. You'll fight against gravity, black holes, electricity fences, a robot that shocks you if it catches you, and you'll shrink down to a small size while solving mazes and avoiding getting crushed by Martians. It's a little challenging, but if you know what you're doing, you'll be able to finish the level in no time. After helping Marvin, he drops Ralph off at his home, the black sheep following close behind. Once inside, Ralph notices something strange. There's a special goal in his living room. So, we take the sheep, put in the goal, and revel in Ralph's final victory. But it turns out, the sheep was Sam the entire time. That's right.
Turns out it was all a dream!
Ralph never caught a single sheep in this game. It was all a dream. He leaves his home, meets up with Sam, clocks in, and gets ready for another day on the job. The end. And that was Looney Tunes Sheep Raider. Has it held up after all these years? I'd say despite the twist ending, yeah. And a lot of people tend to agree. After it was released, it was given a generally positive reception, and even today has found itself remembered fondly by those who have played it when it first came out, and has slowly acclaimed a small cult following over the years, proving it to be another hidden gem in the PlayStation 1's library. Have a PS1, 2, or 3 sitting around and maybe $60 on hand and looking for something to play, Sheep Raider is definitely one to pick up, or you can just emulate it. Gaming preservation is important, though big companies seem to disagree with that. But either way, the game is worth checking out. This is Bob, and I'll see you guys next time.